Testing, testing. Okay, we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bitcoin Altcoin Trading Talk, episode 49. Oh, Alex is back in his lab coat.
Yeah, I'm calling here from my evil lair. Got the 3D printer going, all that fun stuff.
Right on, cool. Well, if we see any apes escaping,
we'll sure to let me know.
We'll let you know.
Any counterfeit Bitcoins back there?
Oh, I'm working on it. We got an entire division on it.
You need 3D print some Bitcoins?
Yeah, I could probably print some physical ones. You guys want something with like a private key embedded? Maybe hold up to the light and then you can see the QR code. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, not a bad idea. So, how are things at ASIC Boost Labs?
Pretty good. So Block Talk on Friday, I got it's CoinFest, so it's kind of a 2-day long conference, and I'll be handling about 6 hours of interviews. So
wow.
Tune in for that. It's gonna be pretty cool. Lots of cool companies. And then with Ubic, we had a great time at the conference last week. I only had about 6 minutes to explain blockchain, how it relates to machine learning, and what are the products we're building. But and they had just finished eating lunch, so it was a little rough. But we kind of got some good intel. I got some people contacting me. Someone from Enterprise Ethereum, the ETH Alliance,
nice.
wanted to know why we were the only blockchain company there, and they weren't allowed. So dealing with that now. We're on their radar.
Them's fighting words.
Interesting. So do you think they look at you as direct competition?
I don't know yet. I think overall they see the EVM becoming a standard, and anyone doing it is probably a good thing, as long as we're not like bad publicity in terms of Ethereum. Like, I don't think we're competition. I just think we're just another option.
Yeah.
Like it's a general purpose blockchain that they can't even decide all the projects they want to build on it yet. So I don't know if we're going to really be competition right now, because I don't think they even have enough bandwidth to build out on it.
Interesting. So I guess we got to get the show started though. So we'll do some intros.
I thought this was the show.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Why am I in this box? So my name is
New York
Kale.
Skyline. I miss
Damn it, Brian! Just let me do the intro.
Oh, sorry.
William Kale from Coinigy, handing it off to Brian.
I put
so.
myself on mute there for you. I don't know who I am. I'm just some idiot trader guy.
No, you're the rational investor.
Hey, Alex, you got a pretty chart on there. What's that? Oh, is that BTC?
Yeah, I'm just trying to cover up my image. I'm a little bashful today, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're a handsome guy with a smashing haircut. All right.
Well, thank you.
I'm not quite sure how I derailed this. Sorry, everybody. I got to pass it back to Will, and I'll shut the hell up.
I'm just going to pass it right back on to Da Vinci. What's going on, man?
I'm just chilling here, right? Trading away with Coinigy, and my account is looking really good. Almost 300 Bitcoins, as my card account shows through their Coinigy API. Oh, it looks beautiful. I love it. Love it. It's only been a year.
What was that?
It's only been a year and a half, and it's all thanks to Brian. I'm not giving him any more money for this, but I have to thank him for helping me.
I said tips are always graciously appreciated, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You're gonna have to jack those subscription prices up a little bit, I think.
Well, we got some really fun candy coming down the pike, so I can't wait. We actually, Seward, our PHP developer, says that we can even do screeners on crypto now, so we're super excited.
Awesome. Good deal.
Anyway, congrats to Da Vinci. Puts in the hard work. Applies the basic principles of good money management. That's really what it's all about. And he's reaping the rewards.
I hope you're doing proper security as well. That sounds like a lot of money. That's very liquid.
Yes, exactly. I mean, right now I'm moving away from Polo because I've seen this before. I know what to look for. Polo looks really bad. They might have a lot of money because a lot of money is trapped in there. Let's just say you have $25 million. The maximum you take out is $25,000 a day. You're never going to get it out. Let's just say you're earning conservative 10% a year off of your $25 million in crypto. you're never gonna. It'll take you 1,000 days just to take out the 25 million. So there's no endpoint for you to take out all your money from Polo. So your money's trapped in Polo. A lot of people I know actually that have millions are trapped, and so that looks really, really bad. Honestly,
Can you buy a coin and just move the coins to a different exchange?
yes, but the maximum amount you can take out is $25,000 per day.
Equivalent of the coin or whatever.
Equivalent of the coin in dollars. So let's just say you lucked out and you bought, I don't know. Let's just say you bought the Dash. You went all in on Dash for like $25,000, and you sold at the high, right? You're rich, but actually no, you're not. Sorry, because you can't get it out.
This is an argument that Bill and his legal team are having from Bittrex. They're trying to set a precedent that the KYC and stuff it needs to be it needs to be implemented when the trade happens. So they want to implement verification and KYC based on trading volume rather than withdrawal. Like, you should always have the right to remove your money, but
Exactly, and that's the big problem, right? And so not only that, that's not the only reason why I'm leaving Polo. The other reason is that Polo's got a lot of problems which they shouldn't have. Halting trading multiple times, for example. And I noticed that I lost money because I was like looking at my account directly. And somebody asked me to buy some Ethereum for them at the really high price. And I told them not to, but they wanted it anyways. And so I was looking at my account. He wanted like over 3.5 Bitcoins worth of Ethereum. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, I don't have enough. I have 3.2. So I'm going to have to go and cancel one of my orders, and then I'll have enough. So I canceled an order that had 0.5 Bitcoins on it, and my account didn't go up. And I'm like, I'm looking at it directly. And then I asked them about it. I said to show me the detailed information of me canceling the particular order, right, at this time, at this coin, and show me the details and how much I had it before and after. They refused.
Ooh, that's
said,
not good.
Crazy.
Were you able to see any of that info on Coinigy, perchance?
I don't think you guys have that information, do you?
I mean, we would have a snapshot of your balances on the day prior and then after that, but obviously that fluctuates.
Because
maybe
I did
not
it
just on one trade, but
unfortunately I did it through the their application, not through your API.
okay.
And so that's why I probably won't show up there.
Did any of you guys get caught with that Polo nonsense over the weekend on Ripple?
I didn't. I know a lot of our users did.
Yeah. Did any of your Jumbox guys get caught by that, Alex?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys, they're pretty well split between Bittrex and Poloniex. Obviously, like, if they want to trade margin, they need to be on Polo.
You should explain what that means, what exactly happened.
So I guess Bittrex or Ripple, I forget what the good news was. I thought there was some sort of good news, but then immediately after there was bad news that they found a bug that was in their code for, I think, probably 3 years, like basically since they created it. And so they had to patch it and everything. So immediately the price went down to try and I guess Ripple always retraces. It like never goes up in value.
Did you see Tim Gravity's tweet? That was so funny. I don't know whether you guys saw that. The Beamish effect.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too.
I saw it.
But it's funny we talk about Polo because when what's his name, Bo Shen, one of these like Ethereum whales, these kind of big guys in the space, they have a lot of money. When he got hacked, it really came to light that Polo couldn't even stop him from his funds being dumped because he has like direct access into their engine. Like he's not even like a mainstream user there. He has like straight up extra permissions. So even though the Polo site is down and maybe even the API is down, it's probably still trading, and a lot of guys are probably filling shorts. So this is where like I really respect the Bittrex guy, because if you can always be suspicious of how coins get added or like new markets getting added, but when you have this unexpected downtime is when colors really come out. Like Bill and Richie are completely open about downtime, what the issues are, and and they're very open on the ads too now. Like nobody's really getting like a head start on any of this stuff. Like they're trying to build a good platform and a reliable platform, where Polo, some of it just seems way too convenient.
Bill and Richie
Let's do the smack of crapsy kind of stuff again.
Yeah, like Polo got hacked back in the day, right? Like I figure it was like 10% of all the Bitcoins or something got stolen. I'm just babbling random numbers now. No one better quote me on that, but I know they got hacked, and it was for a sizable amount. And then all of a sudden, the platform came back, and they were, spending money on revamping it and stuff. But whenever we get these high volume scenarios, it seems like the engine starts crapping out a little bit. So
yeah, I mean, that's definitely what. And I wanted to give an update kind of too, as far as Poloniex is concerned with Coinigy. If you were finished with your thought.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sorry. So as many of you know, we've been having some issues with PolonieX's API lately on Coinigy. It took us quite a while to actually get a hold of them. One of the main issues was, our servers are the ones that are hitting Poloniex, and we were previously whitelisted, and then kind of suspiciously were unwhitelisted. So that was causing a lot of issues. So we got in touch with them. It was an honest mistake. So they re-whitelisted us. But due to kind of the huge surge in Poloniex usage, they implemented some new rate limiting, basically. So if you're getting a dreaded 422 error when interacting with Polo on Coinigy, I'm currently working on refactoring that code to basically significantly cut down on the number of API calls we make to get around the rate limit, and just some other things too, like pulling in all of your history, regardless of whether or not the trade was placed through Coinigy or not, or whether the order was open for a long period of time or not. So hoping to have that deployed by the end of the week. I'm kind of in final testing right now, just making sure everything's bulletproof. So yeah, just wanted to give an update there.
That's cool, yeah. Just one
and
final.
We didn't give Steve an intro, by the way.
Oh,
hi,
yes.
Steve. I felt bad, but everybody was on a roll there.
It's quite all right. It's a little late to give an intro, but I work for Coinigy, and I also have a podcast, the Blockchain Show. You can check it out. A bit of a hiatus right now, but we'll be back soon enough.
I can send you some people to interview if you'd like. I'm getting so many requests right now. I don't know how to handle them all.
Oh, really? From like
different coins and different people in the space. Like, people just like being able to have a good conversation. And I think it's important too. Like, doing this show is really healthy for the space, because there's a lot of text you can read online, but that's not real enough, I don't think, for some people. Like it's really easy to kind of start feeling like a crazy person when you don't hear other people talking about it.
Yeah. So
That's usually normal for me. Sorry. Brian,
Would you say talking to yourself is normal?
That's normal? No, I can't be in the same. Okay, question for a couple questions I have. Number one, and Dav, were you trading on Crapsy before it blew up?
Yes, I was, and I saw that blow up long before.
I guess my question is, and MintPal? Alex, were you trading on MintPal before it blew up?
And not MintPal. That was just a tad before my time, but I did have funds on Cripsy. And they still owe me some Jumbucks too, actually.
I was just looking at, we still have MintPal code.
I'm part of that class action suit. I think it's down in Florida or something. You have to go to file your claim, though.
Yeah, we'll see. They're probably up for auction soon enough.
Yeah. No, are there any similarities here that we should take away from this, or is this just? Do you think it's just
more similarities to what's it called, Bitfinex, right? Than Cripsy. And so I think that there's going to be some major event that's going to come down. And And it'll be fine because you know what? They have a lot of people's money at first. And so it'll be fine. They'll say something like, oh, you know what? We can handle this loss. It's okay. Blah, 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 yada, yada. But they're already done. At that point.
How's the margin trading thing going with Bittrex, Alex? Do you talk to Bill about that? Are they like almost, because that's, as soon as they get that online, they could start eating Polo's market share, right?
Oh, you have no idea how badly Bill wants to push it out. I guess the framework, like the V2 is almost ready. They're just kind of getting the last bit of markets ready and bug testing. The margin is probably going to be a little bit after that, but yeah, V2 is definitely.
The reason why the site went down there the other day, was that because they're building this stuff out?
Yeah, I think it was probably something based on the services they use. Usually they have to they have problems with Azure, like Microsoft or Amazon, and that's just the nature of running a service. I imagine Coinigy, you guys have that problem too occasionally.
Oh yeah, it's a constant battle. I mean, just to keep services up 24/7. So,
And
all you can do really, as as a programmer, sysadmin, is segment things and segregate things as much as possible. Move them all over the place. So make sure there's no single point of failure, basically.
Mm-hmm. So. One final point, and I want to make.
Have any of you guys, I was actually surprised, and I'm just curious, have any of you guys got accounts on that Cryptopia going and Yobit and stuff as sort of alternatives for when?
Definitely not Yobit.
I do.
No, you don't like Russians?
No, there's so much I don't like about Yobit. There's so many coins there that don't have blockchains, and that's a big part of why I don't like them.
Yeah, I mean, they launch coins before they're even available.
Yeah, like they were that whole list fiasco too, right? So they clearly don't give a fuck, okay. and that scares me from a security standpoint and from a legal standpoint too.
I was surprised. I mean, I don't really know Cryptopia that well, but Bittrex goes and delists the coins, and I just went the other day and I was like, oh, what the hell? I'll move them over to Cryptopia, and they, it's better part of a full Bitcoin worth of coins, and they're just sitting there trading away on Cryptopia now.
Yeah, and they definitely have a place in the space. You got to have those markets, and especially now, Bittrex is kind of. They got a new person helping them with their listings and delistings. That will be Julian, actually. Julian Yap, one of our developers at Ubic. So he's helping with a lot of the new ads and the delisting. So he's looking at not just the market volume, but he's also looking at their Bitcoin talk threads or their Slacks and Twitter. He's seeing is the coin dead from those standpoints, because he can look at a chain and see there's nothing going on here. I'm going to delist this, and then it's that final. It's not, oh, this is your warning. You got to get your volume up. No, these are finalized delistings. So they're helping Bill and Richie with that. And then the last couple of coins they've added have not been paid listings. They've actually gone out and looked for really cool projects like Music Coin or any of these other chains where there's some real people behind it and actual good fundamentals. So Julian's doing a really good job, I think, on picking new coins.
So I'll just throw this out because I put the tweet out the other day and it was kind of interesting, the response. So, STV, for example, that's on their hit list here. I thought Sativa coin, of all the coins to whack heading into 420, I would have thought this was the last name in the world that you'd want to delist heading into that event.
It's just going up in smoke.
Well, and so the question I put out there, and I'll even ask you guys, is this thing a piece of shit, or is this a screaming buy? Because I go over to Cryptopia and I can actually see a trade developing, and I just see that they bring in price right down into a price gap, and they've left lots of gaps to the upside. So I look at these delisting events, and then, this is the old adage: opportunity is now here, or is opportunity nowhere? I got whale orders now since 2 Bittrex delisting events. Just even this past little whack, I've got 2 doubles out of coins that they turfed off, and then I just moved over to Cryptopia, worked my orders at double my purchase price, and pow, they're getting filled.
Yeah, I think this is just Bittrex wants to kind of, I don't know, be a little more classy with what they list. Like they're looking at these coins like, there's 20 different weed coins out there. Does Bittrex really need to list all of them? Well, no. So let's clean up the count a little bit.
That's surprising. If somebody had said, what was one of the more major of the coins, I thought sativa was pretty popular, but I guess it's not, is it?
Yeah, I don't think so. And there are coins that I know people who hold them, and they're disappointed to hear they're delisting. But the idea with these delistings now is that I think a lot of people are okay with it. The vast majority are. The only people who aren't are the guys who throw $5 at it because they see the risk reward, and that's like, Brian. You can see those trade locations, and it's just that trade is not a justification for having the market on Bittrex.
No, understandable, totally understandable. I'm just, and I wanted to get the feedback from the group. I suppose asking people about pot coins in itself carries a lot of politics with it, so I understand if people are leery about weighing in. But I
would weigh in, but I honestly know nothing about it whatsoever. So
right, I mean, really, and you know me, right? I don't. I like charts, but when it comes to the individual names themselves, I can't really comment. So I get, and the feedback I'm hearing from you, Alex, is within the community. You could have your money working in better places.
Yeah, honestly, that's just it. The space is so hot right now. Why would you put even $5 on some of these just to get 50 when there's far more, there's better stories out there. The space is exuberant right now with the amount of technology.
You don't see much going on with the 420 this year?
Honestly, I think with how little we've heard about it going into it now, we're talking about it now, obviously, but not the same as last year. Last year, everyone was expecting a 420 pump, and it kind of went up a little bit before. This year, there's so much going on. I think a lot of the new money has overlooked it. So I think this year I have at least one weed coin. I'll say I own the new listing Tokes on Bittrex. So I'm expecting a decent return from that. I like the story. I like the people behind it, and the trade location was good when I bought it.
Is that one of those rise only markets?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It seems like the whole market itself is one of those right now.
This keeps going higher and higher.
Actually, I'm very pleased that I didn't hear anybody say it today, but I heard Jesse putting out the dreaded hashtag. And as soon as he said it, I was like, bite your tongue, bite your tongue. Don't you dare say it.
Oh, yeah.
Because as soon as we say it, that's going to be the end of the run. So just everybody enjoy it, right?
Does it end in back? Is that the
right. I'm looking at. Okay, and so I also want to know, my other question I wanted. Coinigy, how are you guys doing in the evolution of your exchange?
We are doing excellently. Basically, we're going to start revealing some teasers shortly, probably within the next week or two. Maybe the next 2-3 weeks, but things are coming together pretty well. I mean, right now we're basically working on the UI, and that's the big thing for us, So obviously, you guys have used Coinigy. We try to go through things with a fine-tooth comb, try to do the best as we possibly can. We're working heavily on the charting library, which is going to be something you probably haven't seen before. And yeah.
What's your guys' main focus right now? Is it the exchange, getting that up and running? Is it what's if somebody said to me, Brian, I want Coinigy to build these screeners for us, right? And I've been like, yeah, I know we've been waiting, but their real focus right now is this. When they're done that, maybe they'll get to our stuff later on. What would you say your main focus is right now?
So I wouldn't call it a main focus. I would say that we have basically 2 team members dedicated to the exchange, and then a whole lot of other team members still dedicated to Coinigy. So basically once the exchange is built out for the most part, that's going to be for the most part kind of a hands-off thing. at least initially, as long as we kind of nail it from the get-go. So that's what our main focus is, kind of UI wise. The chart scanner's coming, I can tell you that much. So Rob's actually kicking some dirt on it right now, I think, in the background. But yeah, I don't know how. It's hard to answer that question. The main thing that I spend my time on day in and day out is basically fixing bugs on Coinigy, and then customer support, that kind of stuff. And then we have Rob and Byron, who are working on back end, basically a huge refactor on our back end, which, the stuff takes time. I mean, we're a very small team compared to, some. I like to compare it to, a lot of people compare us to. A lot of people think that we have like 30, 40 employees when they first email support. And really, we're working extremely thin right now. We're kind of a skeleton crew. So, we're working with basically, we have, what do we have right now? Technically 6 developers. And it's, we're, whoa, just heard something in the background there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we're nose to the grindstone. We're not going to lose any focus on Coinigy, if that's what you're asking. There's still a lot of stuff going on.
I don't even know what that really means. Does that mean, when you say focus on Coinigy, does that mean like the working of all these different platforms all off of your one sort of main platform? Is that what you mean by main focus is on Coinigy? Like managing your accounts on the Coinigy platform, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we're continuing with Coinigy, and obviously customer support and all the development and all the new bells and whistles that come along with that, and features. So
yeah, just curious.
Rest assured, we're not. No, it's just a difficult question to kind of answer.
It's Coinigy first, and then the exchange. That's what you're saying. It's
Coinigy first, and then the exchange. Let me put it that way right now. Yeah. Yes. One of the big things that kind of we have in our pocket is, this exchange was operating prior to us kind of essentially acquiring it, and Byron's basically been working on refactoring everything into the latest and greatest as far as the back end stuff. So we didn't have to start from scratch, if you know what I mean. So that's a really good thing. The code is battle tested already. So that cut down on a lot of dev time as well. So really the main focus is features.
Are you just doing it sort of like just a straight cash market, or are you going to get into the margin lending game and all that?
We don't have any plans to get into any margin yet, at least. I mean, we're just going to do spot. We're starting small. I mean, we're really just starting small, and we'll see where it goes from there. So
one step at a time, Brian. They got to succeed by not failing.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true.
I didn't mean to put you under the gun.
No. You're not.
Right?
You're not at all.
You're my guest on my show, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't have a preamble prepared, but
well, they run like really. I mean,
hey, Da Vinci, what's going on in your life? Are you taking over any South American countries lately?
No, just to come back to that, Brian, too. From my perspective, I'm a software developer, so it's difficult. I'm not a sales guy in the least, so it's hard for me to kind of answer these questions sometimes. But
okay,
Steve can attest to that on our weekly Scrum calls.
Where you guys and where Coinigy is headed.
So I got a little chart up here, and maybe I can get Brian's opinion, because I know we were kind of talking about the hashtag we can't talk about. But my opinion is the altcoin boom that we're going through right now is probably going to end with this fat lady singing, which is Zcash. Because everyone's all distracted now, and they think this has been a dump market, dump city, but this will probably be something that will pump up here before the end of the year, I'm thinking. So I'm watching this retrace here. I've been trading this because I got mining funds that I'm trying to make my money back on. And is
that a logarithmic scale?
Yeah, just because Zcash is really hard to get a proper looking chart here. You guys almost need I don't know, some quick quick tool to like refactor the scale so I can not have this massive candle always screw my shit up.
Alt R might do what you are looking for.
Okay.
Zcash has gone like straight down.
Oh, not Control R, Alt R.
Okay.
How about Control Alt Delete? Doesn't that do something?
Yeah, give that one a shot.
Yeah, here, let me try a couple different shortcuts here. But I'm thinking.
Is the no developer pre-mine of Zcash version a little better chart or no?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let's look at Z Classic, which is the one that's
I thought
forking.
that the Z coin made a new low there. I thought that low was taken out.
Zcoin is another different one, but Z Classic is doing pretty good since we looked at it. Like, yeah, it looks like it filled those gaps, and then you were talking about, Brian. Oh no, it's still got a big one up here, so we still got a little ways to go, and I think they're making steps up.
Yeah, in fact, actually, what I wanted to show you guys, I think this is important. And actually, we were going to have on a guy on one of these shows. There's a couple guys on Twitter that I really respect. One guy goes by the handle DJ Thistle.
Oh yeah.
And I think you know him, Alex, right?
Not personally, but I know of him pretty well. Like, he's got a trading coin. He's got a coin of his own too. I forget what the ticker is, but very similar to kind of like Gambit in a way where I think it's supposed to be backed by his trading funds of some sort. And then he's also a DJ, so there's something with that tied into it. So he's just one of those guys who's like a full-time cryptoer and DJ on the side of some sort.
Yeah, that sounds like an agreeable life, eh?
Yeah, right.
But and then also the crypto gambler, right? We haven't seen him around. Would be cool to have him back again one of these days.
Yeah, he likes to lay low now. He's not like he likes to lay low. He's not like Da Vinci where he wants to have people know about his wealth. Because it's
All right, so I was just going to make a reference. We've talked extensively on this show about the venture capital nature of the altcoin market, and I think Will and Alex and I and Da Vinci's been working with me long enough. But Alex and I, we've all been through this now at least a couple times together. And so really, I don't think there's anything actually out of the ordinary what's going on in the market right now. I think last year, 2016, a lot of the potential venture capital money came in and just went straight to one location. Anybody, any clue what that was?
Yeah, the Ethereum rise.
So because we didn't have that this year, I think that a lot of capital could explore other avenues. And that's why you got the insane moves on Dash and stuff like that. I think also too, Bitcoin had a pretty big run up, and I think there was a bit of, concern about, where do you take your Bitcoins if Bitcoin needs to correct. If you convert them into cash, then there's tax implications. If you just simply roll them into other cryptos, I don't think the tax man gets too excited. So I think there was some motivation there as well. But I wanted to show you guys and the audience, really, because I'm talking to you guys. I wanted to show the audience this really important image on my screen here. And really, very simply put, this is the way capitalism works, right? It's just simply wholesalers are going to load up at discounted prices. Usually, and this is what's called the Wyckoff market cycle. And the reason why I made reference to that DJ Thistle, I think he does quite a few references to the Wyckoff cycle. And I remember we had some interesting characters that we interacted with a few years ago that also believed in this basic market cycle kind of premise. I don't think we're reinventing the wheel here. This is pretty common knowledge. But especially for people new to crypto, I talked to a lot of people, especially a lot of new site members, a lot of school students and stuff, where last November, December, they outright told me, they said, Brian, if I didn't know you, I would swear that the altcoins were going out of business. And then all of a sudden, mysteriously, here we are 6 months later after the seasonal trough, actually, it's about 3 or 4 months. And now they're all in vogue. But what we need to understand is this is basically a very normal, typical business cycle. And venture capital is extremely seasonal. So if we just look at this very normal sort of market cycle, the process of capitalism, I think if anything, we could argue that we just went through the accumulation phase. We've had the initial sort of bump up, and my hunch is that we're just going to slowly work our way up into the very classic seasonal topping period we go through almost every summer. So I think, for the audience, please understand, and, by all means, I don't know whether we can, tweet this link out or not. You can Google Wyckoff market cycle. This is an invaluable piece of information for you just to keep in the back of your mind when you're coming to the market year in, year out, coming to the market, trying to make money from trading and understanding, and sort of basing what expectations are. And I don't know, Will, what do you think? I mean, come September, October, do I kind of go into a bit of a shell as we sort of head into the fall and the end of the year? Have you noticed that?
Yep.
All right. Very normal. And if anything, the hardest thing to do, guys, is if you want to make money from trading as they're going through this, markdown, meltdown, whatever you want to call it, and then the accumulation phase, to just slowly keep going in there and buying. In essence, accumulating. And I think, Alex's coin, I see tons of these coins doing this now. They've all had their initial burst off of the bottom. Unfortunately, if you're talking to the public, quite often they'll chase and they'll buy right up top here. I think we're going through a very normal, some coins like Dash, they actually came all the way right back down to the original reload zone. They've already gone through the complete first wave of their cycle. It's quite remarkable, really. So whatever you do, please, viewers, do not chase. Don't FOMO. You're not allowed to do that anymore. We've got all the tools. We teach you the tools to use to help you time your purchases, the reload zones. But at the same time, understand that this is the very normal pattern that the market follows through a very normal seasonal cycle. Nothing really is being reinvented here. So anyway, that's my rant. Sorry, went off on a bit of a tangent there.
No, it's good. I was saying to some friends earlier, Brian, that you definitely you're very good at repeating the same thing over and over again to drill it in and get the lesson learned, and that's very important in the space. I think a lot of people forget this stuff very quickly. So by all means, we on the show here kind of take it for granted, but I think anyone listening to this today or listening to it in September will, be the benefit of it. But
well, and that's the key to this game, right? Is that, and remember, I was a penny stockbroker for donkeys.
Yes, I know, Brian.
So the point, well, I'm not talking to you, Alex.
I'm sorry.
But
the show isn't all about you, Alex.
For many, many years. And the penny stock market works in the very same fashion. Not a heck of a lot of difference. I didn't mean to be rude there, Alex. I apologize. Okay, so do we want to take a look at? Okay, so I think it would be a good idea that maybe we just take 5-10 minutes, just do a quick Bitcoin review, and then please, audience, understand that when we look at these altcoins, I want you, and somebody said that we got about 75 viewers right now. So all of you go and Google Wyckoff market cycle, grab this image, have it sitting beside your computer, and then when we go through the coins, see if you can connect the dots. Because like I said, this is a very normal cycle, and your job as a technician, as a trader, is to try and figure out, okay, where are we in this very normal cycle pattern behavior? Okay, so with that said, I'll put that away for now. And let's just go do a quick Bitcoin review. And actually, what I really like to do for these videos, if you don't mind indulging me, is I think it's a good idea just to start off with a completely blank chart. And I'll just take like 5-10 minutes and just build it out. And if you're watching this video later on and you want to practice, just simply watch the video, try and replicate a study that I just did, pause the video, try and figure out what the fuck Brian just did. Okay, what tools do I got to do? Blah, 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 blah. Then when you've got your chart up to speed where I am, then press play, watch me do a couple more things, press pause, try and replicate it. And this is basically how you're going to practice. So we're going to start off, good old Coinigy, BTC. And what market should we look at today, guys?
Your guess is as good as mine.
For our Bitcoins today.
I would say
Finex.
Bittrex.
Somebody
Yeah,
give me something.
We both said Finex.
Finex. All right, Finex.
The old, they're whole on their tokens now, by the way. I assume you guys saw that.
Oh, are they? And actually,
Yeah,
Alex,
they paid it back, apparently.
I think it was JC. JC placed a pretty big bet on going long those tokens. So they're back to trading at par now?
Something I haven't actually paid attention to it other than I saw a blog post saying, yeah, we're 100% solvent now.
Excellent. Well, good for and really hats off to Simon. Simon saved their fucking asses. Alex, do you talk to Simon anymore?
You guys hear me? Yeah,
Yep.
only when I'm looking for interviews with people listed on his site. But for the most part, not talking too often. He was pretty adamant that like Bitfinex needed to stick around and was a very successful exchange and will continue to be one. So yeah, that backing really helps. There was lots of people with lots of money at stake, so they saw that 30 cents on the dollar as a very good gamble.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so into the ETF event, we put in this just insane wick and tail. Coming out of it, I sort of posted into the public forum that, and I did cheeky like tweets. I said things like, Bitcoiners, welcome to your new trading range, which when I do those kind of tweets just pisses the Bitcoiners off to no end. But nonetheless, I think that was pretty well tapped. And I think last show that we had, I think the last time we did a show was like right up in here. And I think we had left off the conclusion, Alex's fundamentals, my technicals was, I think really Bitcoin's probably trapped for a while here and it's got to play cleanup. So, to sort of frame price, the first thing I did was I grabbed the fib tool and I just drew it off of this inverted head and shoulders pivot low and did a reload zone, 61.8 to 78.6. And you can see it's interesting, even the ETF event did come down and tag 61.8 on Finex here. And you can see that we played around with this level repeatedly. This green box, we like to call it the reload zone. So really on balance, not a big surprise that it did pivot here. And it was interesting. One gentleman I like to follow, and actually he's become more active on Twitter and following Bitcoin itself, John Bollinger. He actually put out a tweet saying his indicator, he built the indicator called Bollinger Bands, was telling for him to get bullish in here. So hats off to you, John. I don't know whether you're going to watch this video or not, but damn, nice call there, Slick.
If John Bollinger watches this video, that will be so amazing.
All right, there you go, John.
I don't see it ever happening.
Like, John, you got a fan in with.
I never thought he would be tweeting at a bunch of altcoin Twitter guys either. So
he loves altcoin
tweeters. I used to know John when he traded. He used to come to the Vancouver Gold Show back in the 90s. So I don't even know if John even remembers me and he and I talking, but I've known John a long time.
Awesome.
Anyway, here nor there.
Well, hey, we should line him up sometime as a guest.
That would be kind of cool, eh? No, that would be really cool because he has actually built quite a following in the Bitcoin community with his input on Bitcoin.
I think you guys should give him a call.
I beg your pardon?
I think you guys should give him a call.
Yeah.
Brian's got his landline number from the 70s, though, or something. So.
Okay, let's keep this show on the road. So, in my community, just for whatever it's worth, I basically said, look, if we're above here, then we're trending higher, I'm a bull. If we're below here, I'm trending lower, I'm a bear. You can see that they briefly flirted with disaster here, and things were looking pretty tough in here. But as I said, the market stabilized, it reversed. Because these are lower highs and these are lower lows and these are lower highs. As a technician, I'm a big fan of M's and W's. So I can't necessarily call a bottom on a V like this when the market makes a new low. It's just too quick for me. If anything, you guys, everybody watching this show, that I love me my W's. And really, for me to believe that this thing has bottomed in earnest, I want to see something like this. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to happen. The market will do any old damn thing it wants. But what I do see here is this V bottom, and it's left a bit of a tail. I don't know whether you guys have heard me talk about candle bodies. The body of this candle and the body low of this candle. That level right there is super, super important to me. And probably if we do reload zones just off of this particular range, what do you think the odds are? Reload zones right in there. Yep, there's 78.6. You see how 78.6 basically just lines up against those body lows right there.
But I think we're going
always works out.
Retracement backwards, right?
Well, and actually, Da Vinci, you made reference to this in a daily brief recently, and noticed that the counter trend rally here was just literally right to the mountain man level. Remember remember I used to quiz you guys every show. What the hell did we call that?
And then you gave up on quizzing me because I could never get it right.
But
what are those?
impressive, and hats off to Da Vinci. He's getting so good that he sees this.
What was
stuff
that,
in his
Steve?
sleep now.
What is the line in the sand and the mountain man? Are those just levels on the chart, or?
Well, it was probably too much for us to get into in this conversation here today, but these are very specific Fibonacci ratios. I don't know, have you ever seen the Fibonacci sequence, the spiral?
Yeah.
You've probably seen on the internet things that like, where the hell is it? It's around here somewhere.
Like when they show like
you ever seen this?
random ones where it's like Parliament or something. They have one where
the Ukraine Parliament, right?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff, right?
That was a funny one.
Yeah, and Donald Trump's hair, stuff like that. You see it in the craziest shit, right? But the point is that theoretically, this is sort of the way the universe works, right? And the sequence. By all means, in fact, it might even be an idea for you to audit our class. I tried to get some of the Coinigy boys to audit our education program in the past. That didn't go over too well. But
hey, I showed up for a few of them.
Hey, way to go, dude.
Somebody has to work on Coinigy, though. That's the problem.
Right. So anyway, in our school program, we spend a full week, and I actually give you a number of different Fibonacci tutorials to watch. People, mathematicians and stuff, actually do a really, really great job explaining the whole sequence and how it basically is part of nature. So, in simplest terms,
well, I basically see 4 lines. Are those the line in the sand and Mountain Man, or is it not those lines that are up on the screen right now?
Well, in very simplest terms, 61.8 is a huge number in mathematics, the Fibonacci sequence, and it is often a pivot point for asset prices. That's this, and all I did was I just took the fib tool and I drew off of this low back up to this high, and in essence, this is 61.8% of this move. That's what this bounce is. Market bounce 61.8% of this move. I call it the mountain man level because I used to trade with a crude oil trader, an old ex-pit trader. His name is Brandon Rigo, probably one of the best futures traders I've ever met in my life. And this was his bread and butter. If we were sitting there in the crude room and 61.8 was coming up, you could almost guarantee Brandon was going to short that. So his acronym, his name, right? All these professional pit traders, you know, when we're in these rooms, nobody ever uses their real name. They all use their funny screen name, right? And his name was Mountain Man. So
so that's why I called it Mountain Man.
School program.
61.8 hit. I go, damn you, Mountain Man, damn you.
And that's the irony of it all, right? Is that I don't know whether Brandon would ever watch a show like this or not. But, you know, he must at some point wake up in the middle of the night with his fucking ears just burning going, what the hell's going on? Somebody's talking about me.
I'm like, damn, Mountain Man.
But it's actually remarkable, Steve. If you want to do yourself a favor and just be a student of the market, just watch how many times 61.8 levels are hit and the market reverses off of it. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Now, which one was the line in the sand? The
line in the sand is what I call the 78.6 Fibonacci level.
Okay.
And a lot of harmonic patterns set up. In fact, one of my favorite patterns, it's not on this one in particular, but called the Gartley, it basically says that we want a 61.8 tag and then a subsequent 78.6 tag to set up an actual, like a topping pattern. You know, let's not get into harmonics and trading harmonics tonight, but to simply answer your question, a lot of patterns look for these very specific numbers to be hit, these mathematical ratios. And quite often, like and really this, you know, this is a great example. The Bitcoin in China was just incredible. You know, we all talk about, oh, China, you know, Bitcoin's slightly moved around by the Chinese. If we look at, I think it's CNY. We look at Bitcoin in CNY. Can't remember what exchange. I guess
Huobi's got the most volume lately, believe it or not.
What you find is that, you know, 61.8 just gets hit repeatedly over and over and over. So do you see how I just blindly just picked that low, that high, and doink? You see that? I mean, I just totally eyeballed that, right? And then we can probably even do the same thing off of, how did I do that before? Might even have been like there to there. Maybe it was there to there. No, this actually chart looks different than the chart. Like I'm looking specifically at this one over here, and look at this, right? I mean,
yeah, you're on BTC China there.
Pardon me?
You're on BTC China versus OKCoin.
Is that what I'm doing? All right. So, but can you see, Steve? Look at that 61.8 tag there, right? And actually, I put a lot of tweets out. I say, Bitcoin loves Mountain Man. It's just ridiculous. Pardon me?
I was just saying that was Mountain Man, the 61.8.
Yeah. So, all right. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah, I just wanted to know which line was named what. So
okay. So I apologize. I took 20 minutes to answer a question that should have taken about 10 seconds. All right. Okay. So finishing off our sort of Bitcoin talk here. What did I do wrong here? Whoops, no Y there. I think, you know, until this trading range is resolved, we're in the trading range. You just got to cool your jets. We were doing Phoenix, weren't we? I'm a little concerned that new people coming to Bitcoin, coming to this Bitcoin universe, have actually not gone through a bear market in a while. And almost nobody that I talk to is actually involved in this space, especially new people that I talk to, you know, considering taking the school, site membership, blah, blah, blah. None of them were through this market here, right? Very few of these people are even left in the story anymore. That's the sad part about markets. It always happens, right? And because I'm a gnarly old technician, I'm not going anywhere. 10 years from now, I'm going to still be looking at price charts. It's just the way I am, right? But I do fully understand a lot of people that were interested in Bitcoin here. Basically, the market flushed them out.
Yeah, and I can say, we've been seeing a great resurgence in users coming on, and a lot of newer users. So I'm excited for that, but in another way, it also kind of worries me a little bit. I hate to see people, getting thrown to the sharks right away without really understanding all this stuff. So that's why, Brian, your school is highly recommended. So.
Oh, good. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Because they're going to get.
If anything, I even heard people talking about Litecoin maybe going back to $40, right? That kind of stuff. So, I'm a little worried that the cost of production, we're starting to move away from the cost of production in earnest here. And I just wonder, please, new people to Bitcoin, please understand we have come an awfully long way. And even if we had to take maybe 6-8 months and just clean this up, that would be excellent in my opinion. I just don't think it's healthy for the market to just continually be expected to make new highs, new highs, new highs, new highs. And then, given what we just see here, we see where reload zones are. And of course, the average cost of production for Bitcoin right now, I heard somebody just the other day say, I know a guy, his average cost of production is $350 a Bitcoin.
Oh, really?
Somebody told me that the other day. So
you were spot on with your estimates for all these years.
Well, the point is that with price here at $1,000, $1,100, $1,200, the miners have a very healthy profit margin. They are not complaining one bit. And if anything, they're probably very happy. They have lots of wiggle room in here. Now, one thing that I noticed that's bothering me is the forward sellers are motivated to lock in lower and lower prices for their forward sales relative to where the cash market is right now. This is a spread relationship between the OKCoin 3-month forward contract and the cash market.
Yeah, that bothers me.
In essence, below zero is what we call backwardization. Above zero is what we call contango. In essence, hopefully all of you can see, these are not W's. This is a lot of M's. M's are not generally bullish. M's are usually bearish. So industry itself is not overly happy right now. And I'm getting the feeling that industry, knowing where their cost of production is, as I had said a moment ago, the extreme cases, guys have cost of production around $300-400 a coin. I think on balance, most of the industry, their cost of production is like $500-600 a coin. And we could have to go through a period like this where this is pre-halvening. So this was 150 was subsidized electricity, 300 was non-subsidized electricity. That's the same thing here. Now, I don't want to see a bear. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but if the market does break, at least you should have decent floor that you should be thinking about, because I can absolutely guarantee you, to keep the network going, Bitcoin has to stay above this floor. If it doesn't, then the whole Bitcoin story starts to fall apart. So my hunch is there's a bit of risk here at 1,100 and change, down into this $500-600 window. Right now, the message is we're in a trading range. This is where we do our cat gifts, the cat ping pong gifts. You ever seen those? I think I even have it right here. The way that I would describe this right now is, oh, I don't have it here, darn. Anyway, one of my pages, I have a cat gif of cats playing ping pong. And I think right now we're just playing ping pong. Boing, 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 boing. Unfortunately, what that does mean over the short term is, things are a little bit pricey. I could very easily see a nice pullback. Look at these tails here. These tails look so vulnerable, all right in there.
off, but can we like get onto the alts because it's like
Yeah, we should. You're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just having fun.
I know.
Well, we can
Stupid
solve it.
Brian. I know. Okay. So, cat ping pong. Enough said. As soon as we break the range in earnest either direction, then we can start thinking about new levels. But for the time being, we're range bound. Okay, I'll shut up.
What the alts?
Alex, do you have the wheel handy?
I don't know whether Alex.
Yeah, 1 sec.
There we go. I got it on my.
It's on our. Oh, Brian's got it. Awesome.
I got a timer though too, so we'll
Oh,
keep it
really?
quick here. Let's maybe I'll give you 6 minutes if that works.
That's
That
a
works.
good idea.
All right, so Brian, you spin the wheel, and as soon as we get the chart up, I'll start the timer.
Oh, geez, I'm really.
Brian's enthused about that one.
Okay, let's see what we got here. We'll click the wheel. And I don't know, was that a waste of time? I'm sorry.
No, that was definitely informative. It's just we have to be informative about a lot of topics.
Yeah, it's just that we need to like watch our time, right? Oh, look at that! I got my coin first.
And
Namecoin?
NMC.
Yeah, NMC is my coin. I have a story about that, but Brian, but I'm gonna have to do it another time.
NMC. Is this the one that you gave me a year or two ago? And I said I was just gonna.
Namecoin is old school, man.
I mined the crap out of that coin, and I lost like $500,000 worth of that coin after a bit parking collapsed. And I was
Okay, so what exchange are we gonna look at this thing on? Polo?
Probably Polo, I would think, has the most volume.
Wow,
Fun
that's
fact is,
a beautiful
it's
bottom.
the original altcoin.
Are the URLs still like valuable on Namecoin, or like is there still a purpose to it, or no?
I mean, I think there still is the .bit framework, but like there isn't even like a proper Chrome extension that lets you go to those pages. But yeah, like Namecoin is actually the very first altcoin.
Somebody put some serious money in here.
And it's merge mined. Is it merge mined with Bitcoin? You can.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
So only 14 million out?
I merge mined that crap out of that crap.
Is that right? Only 14.7 million out?
Yeah.
And it's trading at like about $1 a coin?
So is that exactly the same as Bitcoin then, right?
Right, yeah.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing is you can see previous W's down in here, right? And that was this sort of expression of that W. There was a bit of one in here, and that translated into that rally. Kind of sloppy, and then we just put in this wide W here. Actually, this is a really good example of, they say the longer the channel, the bigger the run. So, and I've got a couple coins that I've got on the books that have just made the longest channels, and it's just like, oh, fucking A, man, when these things break out, it's going to be insane. So if anything, hopefully, whoever asked about this online, you can see the channel here.
That was me.
That was Da Vinci at the last second. He got me to sneak it in there.
You can see the breakout through the top of the channel. They smacked it right against the 200 SMA. And then brought it back down. In fact, there's a lot of coins that are doing this. In fact, there's one coin that I have right now, which is hilarious because the community just absolutely hates this name. And it's doing exactly this right now. This is what I call a moving average sandwich. And do you see how it's just coil, and then kapow?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, in essence, and remember I talked about the Wyckoff model earlier, right? So this is that accumulation phase, and here they're basically repricing it higher. This is the markup process. And the interesting thing is, we look at this right now and we go, wow, what a rally. That was, 10 bagger, whatever. But the irony of it all is if you look back in hindsight, you can see that this thing, it could go an awfully long way. Probably, fibs off of this peak right here. Probably reload zones are against that level there.
Most likely.
So we go boopity boop. Oh, look at that. Oh, it was that son of a bitch.
I hate you, Mountain Man. I hate you.
Oh,
Isn't that incredible? I mean, you can't. I don't know what you guys have ever heard me say, right? You literally can't write better fiction than reality. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. Right? And remember, we've looked at Bitcoin, and it's done this before too. Literally just run up, tag mountain, boom, right back down. Isn't that, Steve? I mean, you're relatively new to this. When you see that, are you not just like, holy shit?
Yeah, and then the line above it, that's the line in the sand. You don't buy when it gets higher than that. The points.
Well,
no.
Now you're.
Forget I asked. We only got 6 minutes on a coin, so.
You're overreaching, Steve.
Yep.
Okay. Good try. Good. I like your effort, though. You get an A for effort. So if this thing's going to extend itself, this is the double bottom that we love to talk about. Really, I would argue that a technical target of this move should have been a 50% rule. If you use the 50% rule as a technical target, you're not making yourself too greedy. Yes, if we get up into the reload zone, that's where shorters, if they believe this is a bear, that's where they're going to step up and defend their shorts. The 50% level, if you use that as a profit objective, then it often gets hit, right? This is good old WD Gann. He sort of lived by 50% rule. So I think what happened here was the trade was like this, right? Nice little double bottom breakout. Risk to new lows, targets the 50% level, a nice 5-to-1 risk reward. Not bad, right? Does everybody see that? But the irony of it all is that trade's over now. It's done. What should we be thinking about now? We should now be thinking trend continuation. If this is a trend continuation pattern, what formation or what setup am I going to use? Anybody know?
You're going to use your bot setup.
The bot, that's right. So in essence, the bot, and remember, think Wyckoff market cycle. Can you see how these are basically just A, B equals C, Ds working our way up climbing the wall of worry? You guys ever heard that expression before? Climbing the wall of worry?
Many times.
So in essence, the bot is how we trade trending markets as the market climbs the wall of worry. So I'm going to be hunting bot setups, probably going long somewhere in this area here, risking against these lows. Ideally, I want to see 3 lows, right? Give me a nice little sort of like a W to work with here. Down, up like that. That would be best. Probably looking to go long here and looking for upside objectives here as we do climb the Wyckoff cycle.
All right, that's time.
What do we got next?
That was perfectly timed.
Yeah, exactly.
Good work.
Shitty advice, but what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It was timed well, right? No guarantees with the management. All right, what's the next one?
Who's got the wheel? Alex has it. There we go. Presenting.
Am I spinning or you?
No, Alex has it.
All right.
Ooh, Nero.
What? Oh, Nero. Okay.
I'm not sure if that's still the ticker. It might be NXS.
All right.
Try
NXS on Bittrex.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Nexus. Yeah.
This says NXS.
Yeah, it's NXS.
That's a pretty healthy number. 48 million, 12 million market cap. I mean, price. You've got a stopwatch on me? You bastard. Jeez, no respect, man. No respect.
Hey, move it, Brian.
All right. Well, Wyckoff market cycle. I think everybody can see the W's down in here. So nice breakout here. You could argue a really nice consolidation zone here, right? Move to new highs, higher highs, and higher lows defines a bull market. Look at this gorgeous little double bottom right down in here, right? And I don't know whether this is off a reload zone or not. It might not have been. But boopity boop and boopity boop. It would be really, I could do this a lot faster if I could have templates on here.
Oh, you can, Brian. Just to the right of the indicator button up on top.
Right
The little drop
here.
down. No. On the very top, if you hit on the top of the chart, where you click to access indicators, just to the right of that,
The drop down right next to it.
you have study templates. So you should be able to save your Fibonacci levels there.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to do that. I haven't got enough.
You
time.
have to save one first, and then you can pull it
No
up.
pressure, no pressure. All right, so everybody can see, good old Mountain Man. Cute little bottom right off of the Mountain Man level. Nice turn. In fact, I don't know whether we talked about this before, but we have one student who absolutely loves these. Not really the best example of a doji, but we had a nice indecisive bar here and then a gap higher the next day. This is a doji gap theory, and it basically says if we break above the doji gap bar high, I think actually we're all looking at Alex's screen counting down the seconds here, so I don't know if you're actually seeing
No, I think you might have clicked on it. I'm presenting your screen.
Okay.
If you click back on Alex's screen, it'll probably show.
Okay, so doji gap, you can see the beautiful double bottom reversal. If anything, this is perfect altcoins where they had a nice little dump bar. They tried to flush out any weak hands. Anybody who panic dumped there, right? They just got punished. I think on balance, I don't know whether it would have been a really good idea to be a seller down here. Do like the reversal action in here. Beautiful. Look at this beautiful tail in here. So you could even watch this bottom play out. You have a nice level there. See the big move up, and even just worked your bid right at the breakout level, and that bar right there gave you a nice fill. In fact, we even saw this on a coin today. What coin was it? We were talking about it in the lounge. Really cute little setup. I think it was on Lisk or something like that. Great example where it did that. The market came right back down into the original double bottom and then just jackknife straight up. It was so cool. There's your bottom. If anything, here is more bot type action. Thinking Wyckoff cycle, thinking how the market works its way higher, A, B, C, D kind of format. I suppose conservative upside objectives into this area here. If anything, this is a great example. Below off top, markets come back down to the original A, B, C, D level. Can't touch it here, right? Can't even look at it. If anything, let's give this some time. You could watch for bot levels to set themselves up as more trend continuation type behavior. So AB equals CD looks something like that. Boom, 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 boom. So 33, but no more than 66. So the bot is alive. Then we'll clone that. We'll strap it on off of this low. And so now if we start getting market structure setting up off of this low, and where are we here? We want 33, 66, we want 50, and we want 25. And we want to flip that around. All right, so if you are interested in being a buyer, watch for a nice sort of bottom to develop through here, trying to play this next AB equals CD wave up into this area. As it stands right now, if anything, perfect example of the moving average sandwich. Fast moving average is resistance on the upside. Medium term moving average is on the downside, and the market's trapped in that range for now. Actually, a really cool example of moving average sandwich there.
I'd be a buyer at 200 EMA. The 200 moving average, and because that's where I'd be for this coin, because I don't have any, and I'd like to get some, but I'd put my buy order around there.
Yeah, I suppose you could go off of the entire range, reload zones. But if you do that, then that implies that whatever this push is over. And I would think that that's kind of like, probably. Well, I can't tell. I mean,
right? That's generally what I do.
Yeah.
What does Waffles think?
So there we go. So you can see there is the line in the sand. Notice how that lines up off the 200 SMA.
Yeah, line in the sand right there.
If we do that, though, then what that tells me is we're not in a trend continuation trade anymore. We're in a range trade. So if you're going to target this area down in here, then you're just looking for a counter trend rally bounce. Probably if we do that, then we're probably going to do reload zones back up top, and you better be taking profits up in here.
Wait, that's time.
Is it?
Yeah, we're at 6 minutes. So you guys want another coin?
Yeah, what's next?
Round she goes.
Did I do a half decent job there?
Oh, you're doing a fantastic job, Brian. Like, really good. And since I didn't spend Namecoin, it came up again. So I'll remove that, and we'll try again here. I'd love to cover Namecoin.
Your wheel's in love with Dav tonight.
POS.
I split mine, and it came up on NMC too.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Not so random, are we?
Exactly.
POSW, is that like a proof of stake wallet or something where there's a bunch of different
I hacked your wheel. You guys didn't know it.
that you can like send to the POSW and then part of your dividends or returns is paid out in POSW. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it is. I have the and thread up.
Okay, what do you want me looking at next?
POSW, assuming it's listed on.
the coin?
It was only listed like 3 days ago, so I'm gonna veto this and spin again if that's all right with you guys.
All right.
By me.
It sounds like you're needed in women's lingerie.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a little background noise here, but yeah. Do you guys want to cover this one? I don't know. I'm not gonna veto this one.
I'm good with that.
What is it, Ubic?
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
I don't rig the wheel, guys. I just spin it.
I hacked the wheel.
So isn't that funny? We got basically Da Vinci's coin, and we've got, holy Jesus, is this what you did recently? Oh, this is on this Cryptopia. There we go. Ooh. Okay, so, full disclosure, actually, I was taking profits when we had this monster blow off top here the other day. Things got a little out of control here. When if we talk about, remember, and I don't know whether people watching this video heard me ranting about things like Amanda's apartment. I thought this was actually a pretty good example of those range extensions. Boom, boom. So we've clearly run into some serious traffic up here at the 300% extension level. Is this a consolidation setting up for another leg higher? It could. I'll tell you, if Alex keeps going out and knocking the cover off the ball on these presentations, he's going to keep bringing more buyers in, and they'll just keep taking the coin higher. Be really interesting. I still don't quite understand where the insiders are long this story. So that, to me, is a bit concerning. And also, too, please understand, viewers, that this coin does have a long, long history behind it. It was called something else previously.
Coin Markets Coin and then JBS, Jumbucks.
Right. So you might be looking at this coin and saying, oh, wow, new issue right out of the gate, nice double bottom. Oh, looks pretty solid. Please understand there is more history to this coin story. Sorry, I know Alex wants to defend himself.
It covers it a little bit more thoroughly, where you can see the price history and everything. So you can see we kind of had a bull after the swap, and now we're on a new pricing. Okay, yeah. And the market cap line really just shows it in a much more, I guess, justified way. Whereas the price, we did a stock split essentially, and that's why we have new pricing. But you can see we're kind of breaking through old price levels of the pre-split price.
Right. So the blue line is your market capitalization. Alex? Can you guys hear me? Am I still connected?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I think we lost Alex.
All right.
I'm here again. Hello.
Oh, all right. So the blue line there, is that your market capitalization?
Yes. Yeah. Market cap in US dollars. So we're just at like 6 million-ish USD.
Right. And if anything, probably what I think is, and I've often seen this happen in capitalism, when you get a sort of revision in an asset's pricing, they'll do a threefold increase. Hell, I've watched our portfolio do this. It's quite remarkable, actually. How's it? It started at like 500, and the next stop was 1,500. Then it went from 1,500 to 5,000. And then there was a pause. Then it went 5,000 to 15,000. And here we are. It honestly looks to me like the next stop for this silly portfolio is like 40, 50 Gs. So that's sort of the same thing that we're seeing here. This very sort of normal capitalist fashion, believe it or not. If you were interested in buying, you know exactly what I'm going to be about to tell you. But in essence, you're going to take your little fib tool and you're going to try and figure out where the reload zone is. If there are guys like Alex, that are operating his coin, and maybe he was taking a bit of profit heading into this blow off top, where would he likely want to reload? Do you guys notice that the reload zone now is going to be nothing more than just a revisiting of this original double bottom? You see that? And this was, you could argue there's the double bottom, right? In fact, actually, that looks like a really nice inverted head and shoulders. I don't know whether you guys can see that or not. I go like this, go boop, 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 like that. There's the head and shoulders.
Sorry, can I ask a question, guys?
You can always ask, but there's no guarantees I'll answer.
Okay, so if you guys can see my screen, this is the JBS, right? I already made like a huge amount of profit. Like, I mean, this is where I was buying right down here with all the green lines. If you see my screen, and I was selling half on the double here, all the way up, and it stopped, and I guess and then it switched over to UBS. So I'm wondering, did they like reverse split this thing? What exactly happened here?
So we switched to the Ethereum code base, and in order for like things to work properly, we wanted to be very close to the amount of Ethereum issued. So like your contracts you can run on Ethereum, you can run on Ubiq now. So what we did was we took the 3.5 million coins and we times it by 10 when we launched the new network. So now it's through 35 million, which is fairly close to your 50 or 60 million that there is for Ether. And yeah, that's essentially why we did it, and why the price is 1/10.
So when you say we, you're part of this actual group?
Well, my company released the new software, and it anyone is entitled to write their own. So I try not to say ownership of the coin and the network itself, but I will definitely say ownership of the company that supports the chain, at least one of the main companies, because there are 2 and possibly 3 now. Some fundamental events for you guys, because we're short on time here, and I know you guys love putting lines in the future on these charts. On the 24th is our next conference in Nigeria in front of the Nigerian government and a couple fintech companies like MasterCard, and then I'm planning on coming.
What,
Are you going to Nigeria, Alex?
No, but Luke is XL. He'll be on a panel in Nigeria, and then I'm going to be.
What's that? April 24th, May 24th.
April 24th. So,
right.
And we rallied kind of into this last conference that I had last Wednesday.
No offense to the good people of Nigeria, but I would prefer that you just avoid that country.
We're working with the government to hopefully
That's even worse.
Add a little transparency to their system. Hopefully, it will be unwillingly. So,
I don't know, man. I don't think you're doing yourself any favors going down that road.
So, anyways, Luke is actually getting hit up on LinkedIn now to go to other conferences in Africa. It's just like I think in terms of the African continent, Nigeria is the richest people.
Did they tell him to send any money ahead of time?
No Nigerian princes have hit him up yet. But
Satoshis.
He's gonna have to look at getting bodyguards, I think. We'll see. For the conference coming up, though, he's going to be going with our legal team, who is setting up the conference, at least one day of it. And then I'm actually planning on coming to Vancouver for another conference. So, Brian, we can be hanging out in May 3rd, which will be...
Yeah, what's that? You're coming to Vancouver?
Yeah, and there'll be a fintech conference there. So
awesome. Yeah, I heard Alex, you said something about a bunch of these young, fine female lawyers you're going to set me up with.
Oh, yes, I'll see what I can do. Our crack legal team is probably really good. So I'm sure they can discuss prenuptials and sort of things like that with you. But so that's 2 events coming up here is the 24th and the 3rd of May. And then, lots of good stuff in the pipeline. I'm trying to get the roadmap finalized. It probably won't have dates on it, but it will have kind of an order of events for you guys of products we're releasing.
4840, Bill.
Oh, 4840.
Jesus.
Is there anything you guys want to talk about?
The UBIC cheat code.
Left, right, down, center.
That's left control, A, up, down, up, left control, right?
Yeah, something like that. I'm gonna get in so much trouble for doing this, but no. So I don't know. You guys want to do another spin on the wheel, or do you have any questions about UBIC? I'm not sure.
I was just gonna my message to the audience, if there was gonna be one, if you're interested in this thing, just work your bids right in your reload zone here. If you want to wait for price to come down into this area here before going and throwing money at it, that would be the conservative route. If you want to hunt bullish bots or trend continuation, watch for basically WE type action in here. Draw your fibs from low to high. Project that same fib off of whatever the ultimate low is, which looks like it's that low right there, and then use the bot to trend continuation trade this.
Yeah, I think that's what we as a team would like to see as well, because we don't want to do these parabolic face rips, because that's not stable. Like we want there to be a little bit of hanging out at each level first, so we can
be good.
Well, and we're kind of at a place now where the network is big enough that I sleep a little better at night, because like as the price goes up, our network becomes stronger.
Yeah, but you don't want to go too far too fast. Yeah. But I noticed, like you look at Dash, right? Too far too fast, had to come right back down to the bottom.
Yep. So I'm gonna spin another wheel here.
Yeah, let's get one more in there.
Okay.
Oh. I was hoping for a Syscoin.
Combination of mu and... Oh, I guess it did say mu.
What do you got here?
I'd rather talk about Sys, but
I kind of would too.
Let's
I will make a quick reference, because there is one guy out in the internet that's all pissed off at me because I said that I was working stink bids down here at like 20 sats and I never got my fill. And you can see the backside of this. Kaboom. Can I touch this right now? No, I can't touch this.
Nope.
In fact, I think I still have my bids working down here. If it ever does work its way right back down to the bottom, I might just buy it. But just a word of caution, just like we were talking about UBIC growing too far too fast. If anything, this isn't sustainable. I just can't see this, continuing to make higher highs and higher lows without some consolidation. Moving average sandwich right now. If we can get back above 13 EMA, then maybe we can work our way higher. A little bit of a fractal trying to come in. Nice big green bar here. So if we can take out this bar's high, then you might have some inertia to the upside here. But like I said, my original bid, I remember that gentleman, poor guy. Because I said that I think it was back here, right? You can see the original bottom down in here, right? Broke out, and I think I was working my stink bids. I bet there's even like a gap down here that I'm working my stink bid against. And it just never came back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a cheeky little gap. So at some point down the road, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing has to come back down there. But that's not today, that's for certain. And for now, if you are playing MUE, I think quite literally we have sort of a bull-bear battle line. We head down through this low, which would totally suck. Then clearly we have to head back down into this range. There's that candle wicks peak right there is the top end of the range, which sort of corresponds with that low as well, and these lows. So there's sort of your bull bear battle zone right now on that guy. And then the SUS, SYS.
SYS, yes.
Syscoin.
These guys, if anything, beautiful. You can see the double bottom here, right? Beautiful bottom. Cute little bottom right there. And also, too, that was off of a nice reload zone setup here. So hopefully you guys can see the very telegraphed bottom here. Beautiful buy signal right there. So everybody watching at home, right? Take a screenshot of that. That's the shit right there. You guys pay us the big bucks for this show. That is the shit right there. Let the market bottom. Don't chase it. Identify original structure, reload zones, lines in the sand. Let the market come back down to the original bottom. If you want to, you can just go blindly buy this level. A little bit higher anxiety. If you want a little bit more evidence of a bottom, you can use things like moving average crossover systems, whatever. You can wait for W's to come in, whatever. But in essence, there were lots and lots of reasons I can see just looking at the price chart alone to be a buyer down in this area. Can you buy it right now? Well, this is like our Wyckoff model. You're not getting in off the accumulation phase, right? That's gone. We're now, going through the markup phase. And actually, I'm a little worried for the public because, kind of like Bitcoin, people getting involved in Bitcoin right now only think that Bitcoin can go up in price. They don't realize it can actually go down. Kind of the same thing in the altcoins. And as soon as we start hearing people tweeting back, alts are back, and oh, look at all the money we're making, that's basically the end of the rally. And if I'm thinking about this thing coming back, kind of like that other coin, that MEU, I don't like the fact that there's a little gap sitting right against all of these lows, just sitting there. It also looks like there's also another gap right here that has not been totally filled in. It also looks like there's another gap right there as well. So, for heaven's sakes, please understand, you're not buying value paying up here. And if anything, probably not a bad idea to do good old reload zones, right? If you're thinking about being a buyer, there's the line in the sand. That's probably the area where I'd be working stink bids, down in that area, down in there. Trend continuation, if it doesn't crap out and come back down into reload zones, then we can think bots, and as long as this correction doesn't go beyond 66%, and trend continuation bot setups are still active. So 33, 66. There is the bot setup levels, and trend continuation. We're going to take our bot levels, draw them off the lows. Ideally, we want to see a nice consolidation in here, give us 3 lows to work with. And let's see where the bot levels are to get long. 25 and 50 and 66. I think that's it. Let's reverse that around. Boom. All right. So this would be the level. If these lows hold, playing this bot continuation trade, I would look for long setups. Boom, bida boom. Boom, bida boom. So I would look for long setups to develop off of this 25 level, trying to use these, and hopefully you get a nice sort of succession of 3 higher lows to work your stops against. And I would use the 25 level as a target for an ultimate move up into this level up in here.
And time.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Am I
think
getting better or worse?
you're doing really good, Brian. You got this down. We're nice and quick on these coins, and I think we're covering a lot of good info. I think the people will be impressed.
Well, I sure hope so. So I'm going to break the rules and add one more comment. And I'm going to say, quite often, guys, if you can, see if you can find, do you guys see how this bot setup here is actually going to do nothing more than just take us right up into a natural shorting zone. See that?
Yep.
So this is where harmonics really kicks ass, where we're going to have like trend continuation setups take us right up into a natural trade location to short. Right? They work in conjunction together. Okay, now I'll shut up. Sorry. Anyway, did we have fun tonight? Sure, we had
I had a
fun.
blast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the next one. And
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
we'll have to plan a show for when I'm in Vancouver, and me and Brian can be in this studio there together.
Cool. We should do it like from Decred or something. Or
Yeah, all right.
Decentral.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to go there anymore?
Oh, of course. I don't have my key anymore, but I still pay rent, so I should be able to go there.
You pay rent, but you don't have a fucking
membership. I don't know. I just gave it back just so they had it. But yeah, I've been keeping that space going. You know, it's important to that the Bitcoin space survives, not only in the technological form, but in the people form too. And there's a lot of really talented people down there, just like there is on this call right now.
Cool. And the most talented one is speaking, isn't he?
So, are you talking about yourself, Brian?
No, I was talking about you.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Well, maybe I'll do my little spiel here, and I gotta dip out. But again, I'll mention.
How are we doing on time? Are we at the end here?
Yep. I think
Yes.
we're gonna shut her down. It's spiel time.
Okay, so
Time to spill the spiel.
Friday, CoinFest, you can watch Block Talk for a solid 6 hours of different guests. Check out my Twitter feed, block_talk, or youtube.com/blocktalk for more.
Brian?
Okay.
That's all you. We actually there were a couple people asking about the school in the YouTube chat while you were talking. They were asking when the next class starts.
Next term starts in mid-May. It's going to be a really, really big room. But anyway, we should have some fun. It's always an adventure. But the one thing Alex is gone. The one thing I absolutely love about the school that we run is that it's the shit, right? I mean, if you want to learn how to trade, you want to learn how to do this right, this is the shit. This is what you need to know. And the cool part about it is we got fucking Mr. Moneybags here, Da Vinci. I mean, he's fucking made so much money just applying the really simple principles of money management that we teach.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
So, not only have my accounts done well, and frankly speaking, using the most conservative, most sort of idiot-proof models, we're just doing ridiculous returns. I mean, these returns are just mind-boggling. So, everybody watching this video, for God's sakes, take advantage of this opportunity while it still is here. It won't be here forever.
Nope.
We're in a very...
Brian's going to get burnt out eventually. Brian's going to get burnt out eventually teaching you guys.
Well, yeah, no, and please understand the audience.
I mean that in an endearing way, meaning, you put so much effort into this, and that's what is, amazing, is that you're on a one-on-one level with every single student. It's not like you're just recording something and playing it, pretending like you're there. I mean, you're actually there one-on-one.
Do that, eh?
I know that, yeah, and that's not cool, man. There's a lot of like companies that do that where they'll make a bunch of webinars that seem like they're live, but in reality, it's pre-recorded. So
that's freaky,
sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. Like people say that they constantly say that they're just astounded at the content, at the detail of the course material. And I couldn't, in all consciousness, in good consciousness, teach a course how to trade unless I go into fucking just insane detail, right? But I have to, right? I mean, I wouldn't feel like I did the program justice if I didn't. So, yeah, people are really, really jazzed about it. And like I said, I mean, we've got a student here who's done really, really well with the material. And I think it's actually made a pretty damn big impact in his life.
Oh, yes.
You know, this shit works. It works, right? And really, if anything, Da Vinci can attest to the simple fact is half of this is you got to fucking get rid of the ego. And you gotta just say, look, this is what I'm gonna do, and then are you gonna actually do what you say you're gonna do? And it was beautiful watching Da Vinci go through his metamorphosis. I watched him go from a real egotistical asshole know-it-all to okay, maybe I don't know everything. Maybe I gotta fucking sort of reset the thing. So now he knows everything, and he's back to being an egotistical asshole. I'm just kidding. The worst part about it is, though, when I teach these people, and they do know how to act, and they do know how to behave, oh my God, these people they just become monsters. I mean, in a good way. We've had some students that gone on and started their own hedge funds. Other students that have gone and started up very successful advisory services, advising on crypto portfolios and trading. Other students that have built incredible scripting languages and gone off and taught scripting language and selling scripts on TradingView and stuff like that. It's beautiful to watch the development of each of the students in their own unique way. I never know what's going to appeal to them. The course is so detailed that something always appeals to somebody. And really the key is to just figure out what sort of clicks with you individually and then let you at it, right? So it's a lot of fun. It's been and you know, like everybody watching this show, right? Where's the camera? Believe me now and hear me later, right? And how did Hans and Franz used to say that, right? My wife came to me after she passed away. And she told me that I had the opportunity to make a really big difference in this world. It's by helping people like you, honestly, from my heart. It's by helping people like you, I'm doing what she told me. I'm doing her work. So take advantage of me while you got me here, guys. I'm not going to be here forever. If you want it, come and get it. It's right here. All right. I've said my piece.
Definitely. I mean, I can't top that. I mean,
sorry, Dab. I left you to bad seat. All right, now, Dab, what do you got to say?
But anyways, if you want to follow me, I'm on Twitter, VinciJ15. I also have a YouTube page, right? I haven't like updated in a while, but you know, I used to like mention. I told people to get out of empty GOX and stuff like that, and Cryptseed well before they went down. And I've been meaning to get back to that, but one day I will.
That's it. And that's a funny thing unto itself. I don't mean to interrupt, but I love this anecdote. I have a lot of people that come to me. Oh, I'm a totally crypto enthusiast. I do a blog and I'm doing it. And then I teach them how to trade. And then they start going and making a pile of money in the market. And then I go back to them. Hey, how's the blog going? Oh, fuck. Why bother? I love it. You're not alone, Da Vinci. That's happened at least a half a dozen times with other people too. Once you learn how to trade, it's like I'm making money. Why do I have to fucking bother doing all that shit? I don't care. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to get off on a tangent there.
Good deal.
No.
All right. I hope everybody's enjoyed I didn't mean to get emotional there. I didn't mean to get a little touchy. I apologize. But I hope everybody, you learned something tonight. Hopefully I've added to your lives. Please understand I'm coming at this from absolutely the best place possible. Not looking to make a fortune off of this. Really, I'm here to try and help you guys. Try and believe that. There's actually a guy in this world who actually is trying to help you guys. That's the God's honest truth. All right, I better shut up, else I'm just going to keep going on all night. Have a good night, everybody. I'm out of here. Bye.
All right, Steve.
I guess we can wrap up on that note. Well,
Crazy, Brian.
Yeah. So, Steve, anything you want to add?
Just, you know, the blockchain show, the podcast that I host, is on a bit of a hiatus now, but some of the earlier stuff, I think, is some of the best work, you know, that I did. You know, I think that this space is amazing, and you know, some of our beginning episodes really are geared toward people maybe just coming to this space. I know, you know, when I first came to the space, kind of blew my mind at all the different possibilities and potential. So just because we're not making new episodes, you know, this week or last week, you know, maybe some of the earlier episodes, if you haven't listened to, might be a good choice. And you know, trial Coinigy and use Brian's school. You know, lots of stuff out there for you. So
Good deal. I'll take it from there and just say, yeah, don't forget to check out Coinigy. Don't forget to like and subscribe this channel. You'll be notified of all new episodes. And yeah, I think we can just wave goodbye at this point. So
hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
Yeah,
Bye,
hit that
everybody.
like button.
Happy Easter.
Have a wonderful day. Happy trail.